Let's continue in the Avogadro law. So the definition says that equal volumes of the different gases. I mean different gases which combine when they combine with equal volumes only. So they measured under the same conditions of temperature and pressure contain the same number of the molecules. So I give an example. So here the nitrogen which is going to combine with oxygen molecule. So now it forms nitric oxide, that is all 2 molecules like this. Here what is going to tell that equal valence. If you take this 50 ml, so you should also take this one 50 ml because equal volumes of the different gases. These are the different gases having the equal volumes measured under the same condition of temperature and pressure. We are going to call as that is STP. STP is nothing but standard temperature and pressure. So how much should be the standard temperature? Standard temperature should be around 298 Kelvin. 298 Kelvin and pressure will be 101.3 kilopascal. That contains this much of molecules. That is called 6.023 into 10 to the 23 molecules. So once again, standard temperature and pressure. So the standard temperature will be 298 Kelvin and pressure will be 101.3 kilopascal. That much contains these much of the molecules. So 6.023 into 10 to 23 molecules. So what is this law says that equal volumes. If you are going to equal volumes, you are going to take the equal volumes under the same temperature and conditions, then the product is going to form. That is what equal number of molecules. If you take this 2 nitrogen and here also 2 nitrogen and oxygen also 2 oxygen. Like this. Let's next move on the theory that is called Dalton's atomic theory. So what is this Dalton's atomic theory is? Actually he is going to mainly focus on the matter. That is what importance of the matter he is going to proposing. So what happens here in 1808 Dalton, who is going to propose some theories will be there. According to him some postulates will be there. He is going to explain and he has strongly believed that if you take any matter in the universe, this is also called matter. So if you cut it into small pieces, at the final stage where you are not going to cut further, that is called atom. He is going to call that as atom. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇದನ್ನು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಏನು ಉಳಿತಲ್ಲ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್, that is ಕಣ, that is called atom. He is going to name it as atom. So like this he is going to tell some proposals based on these atoms and what is the importance of atom he is going to tell. So first see the first one, the all matter in the universe which is made up of tiny particles. Like suppose if you take this chalk, this chalk is made up of small particles there, that is called tiny particles. If you take the gold coins, what happens? How it is made up of? They will be made up of small gold atoms. Okay. If you take silver, that is silver also made up of these silver atoms. And if you take the pencil, pencil, that is also made up of the small carbon atoms. So like this, all the matter in the universe is made up of the small tiny particles. That is he is going to call as atoms. This is what first. And second one, he is going to tell that atoms are indivisible. Indivisible means we are not going to cut further. That is last stage. That is we are going to call as the final stage. There we are going to call as atom. Further we cannot cut. Atoms are indivisible particles which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. If any reaction is going to take place, we cannot be created further or we cannot be destroyed. So like I give an example. And now I am going to take this hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. So my aim is to prepare the water. Okay. So what happens? And everything is balanced here. So this is a hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. When these gases combine, they are going to give the water molecules, right? So in that, have you add any extra things here? No. If you add any nitrogen atoms here, no, anything. That's why this says that which cannot be created in reaction. We are not going to create anything. Simply, what is the hydrogen? Just we have recombination. We are going to recombination. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿಸಿದಾಗ ಏನು ಬಂತು, ವಾಟರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಬಂತು. ಮತ್ತು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಅಟಮ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಏನು ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಯ್ ಮಾಡದೆ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. Particles which cannot be created. I am not going to create one more atoms in between them. No. And also cannot be destroyed. I am not going to destroy this oxygen because these are the chemical reaction, so they can neither be created be destroyed. Let's see third postulates of the Dalton's atomic theory. So here the atoms of an element you know that element is nothing but same kind of atoms, like example H2, oxygen is O2, nitrogen N2. So they are the same kind of atoms because two nitrogen atoms combine to give the N2 molecules. Okay, that is called element. So atoms of an element are identical in size, mass and chemical properties. If I take oxygen, okay, if I take an example as oxygen, so how can I write oxygen? I am going to split here. So how like this O plus O, right? Oxygen O plus O, because of these two atoms combine to give a foreign molecule, that is called oxygen molecules, and same kind of atoms we are also going to call as element. So here it says that identical in size, its size is same because oxygen atom is same, right? So this is oxygen, this is oxygen, this is also oxygen, right? This is with the same size and also mass. If we take the mass, if we take atomic number, that is also same. What is atomic number? Here it is 8 atomic number, and it is also atomic number 8, and its atomic mass will be 16, and its atomic mass will be 16. Okay, so its electronegativity property, everything is same, because that's why he is going to have identical. These are called as identical in size, mass, and also chemical properties or in the chemical reactions. So atoms of an element are identical in size and mass and also their properties. So I am going to explain further about this fourth postulates. They are the same and vice versa. Atoms of different elements have different sizes, have different masses, and also have different chemical properties. If I take this water molecule, how these form water molecules? Hydrogen and oxygen, right? Hydrogen and oxygen. These different kinds of atoms which are going to combine to give a molecule or a compound. So here what happens? This hydrogen. If you take its atomic number, it's 1. Its atomic number will be 8. Its atomic mass will be 16, and its atomic mass is also same. So like this, here this properties will be changed and this properties also changed. So he is going to tell that different elements. These are the different elements of different sizes. So they have the different sizes, different masses, and different chemical properties also. So like this, he is going to tell us about the atoms, how will be arranged like this. Come to the fifth postulates. Here it says that atoms combine in the ratio of small whole number to form a compounds. Suppose I take the 4 different elements. So that is called, this is, I am going to take hydrogen, okay, and this is called carbon, this is oxygen, and this is chlorine. Okay, so I am going to take these different elements. What happens here? All the atoms combine. Suppose I am going to take the water molecules. How will we form water molecules? So this is called oxygen, and this is hydrogen. Always oxygen is bigger, you know that, because of the size and number and everything. Okay, so here the atoms combine in the ratio of small whole number to form compounds. How many hydrogen will be there? 2 hydrogen will be there. What about oxygen? 1 oxygen. So like this, I am going to write in the ratio as 2:1. 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atoms. That is called a ratio. Whole number ratio, that is called 2:1. If you take carbon dioxide, how many carbon atoms will be there? 1 carbon atom and 2 oxygen atoms. So that's why it is in the ratio. That is called 1:2. So it says that atoms combine. So these atoms are going to combine in the ratio like this 1:2 ratio. 1 of the carbon atom, 2 of the oxygen atom, in the ratio of a small whole number to form a compound. Like this, compounds are going to be formed here. And come to the last 6th points of this Dalton's atomic theory, postulates. It says that the relative number and kinds of atoms are always constant in a given compound. So let's see the example. So you know that water molecules. So you know that how many hydrogen atoms will be there? 2 hydrogen atoms will be there and 1 oxygen atom will be there. So these, when you are going to take tap water or ocean water or river water, anything water you take, so that is nothing but 2 number of hydrogen atoms and 1 number of oxygen atoms. So that is always constant. The relative numbers, these are the numbers and kinds of the atoms. These kinds of atoms are always constant. ಓಕೆ, ನೀವು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಅಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಅಮೆರಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರು ವಾಟರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತವೆ, 2 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ 1 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಗಿವನ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್. ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್. I am going to take this carbon dioxide. So how many number of carbon atoms will be there? 1 carbon atom will be there and 2 oxygen atoms. Number of 2 oxygen atoms will be there. So ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, 1 number of carbon and 2 number of oxygen. So like this, these kinds of atoms are always constant in a given compound. When you are going to write the carbon dioxide, keep it in your mind that 1 carbon will be there and 2 oxygen will be there. So like this he is going to propose these theories based on the mainly the matter, the importance of matter he is going to conclude in the 1808. So this is called Dalton's atomic theory.